Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us here today. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And whoops, I brought up our guest just a little bit too early there, but that's okay because we're going to jump right into it. So our guest today being joined by Greg Pepper from Checkpoint to talk about travel scams, and it seems that my service right now is scamming me. I have a new broadcast software, and that is what's happening. We are live, so let me just go ahead and fix that. That is not something that is wrong with anybody who's watching here. That is just on me, and I will get us pulled up. There we go. So that part was not a hack. That was a user error. But there are a lot of those that are going on for people right now, and especially with spring break coming up and a lot of the different scams that are happening. It's always great to stay on top of that and to understand what is happening out there. And that is why, Greg, I appreciate you joining us here today. And to start off, I guess, what are some of the big things that people should be watching out for this time of year?
Well, look, a lot of us are looking for a great deal on our vacation coming up, whether it's hotels, Airbnbs, other types of rentals. But as always, unsolicited targeted offers that sound too good to be true are too good to be true.
And that's something that, is something that's people should be watching out for at all times. But I mean, around this time of year too, and I can find myself even looking, I'm like, hey, it's time to go, on a trip. You see some of those good deals, you get excited about it, and it's easy to just click on those.
It sure is. As always, I really recommend starting with reputable travel sites. Do your inquiries, whether it's the airlines, the hotels, or even places like Expedia, Kayak, and others, these multi-site aggregators. But you want to make sure that you're starting with a known trusted source that's linking you to legitimate offers and not just some random text message or email that showed up in your inbox.
And what are the key things that people should look out for then when you are getting some of those deals that come through? Because there are a lot of sites that will send out constant ones, of, hey, coming up here, here's a great deal to this vacation or whatever. But how do you know whether or not you're clicking on the right thing, or what should you do to avoid clicking on the bad ones?
Well, again, I think if you start with that known trusted site and then find the listing, you're going to have a much safer browsing experience than potentially clicking on the random link. But a lot of times these hackers out there are trying to create a false sense of urgency and timeline. Hey, somebody else wants to book this rental, but I need your deposit here in the next 24 hours. Or a lot of times they'll have things that are clearly too good to be true, right? $100 a night for a 4-bedroom house with all the amenities. Again, if it smells like a fraudulent offer, it's a good chance that it likely is.
Yeah, so just taking maybe that second and just being like, hey, slow down, is this real? Or go to the actual website, so don't click through on the email. Is that right?
That's correct. A lot of times they'll have lookalike domains, sites that seem like legitimate. Once they embed a bunch of fake characters or other alphanumeric attributes in there, it may look like Airbnb, but it might be BNNB. You don't think about it very quickly and you click on it inadvertently. Again, if it truly is a legitimate offer, you'll be able to find that within that vacation travel site, that same exact listing that you believe is available.
What are some of the other big ones that are happening now, since people are going to be going on spring break and doing their trips here within the next few weeks? What are some of the other ones they should look out for?
A lot of things can happen potentially once you're checked into the hotel. A lot of us now are receiving food deliveries or other things where maybe someone comes up to bring something to us. They may ask for some type of verification or validation of their credit card. That's an immediate red flag, especially if you prepaid for DoorDash or other food deliveries online. Never give anyone walking up to your hotel room personal information, payment, or other things of that nature.
Really? So that's one of the things they're doing. They'll show up and say, like, hey, I noticed you got a DoorDash, and then ask for a credit card number from them?
Correct. Here's your food delivery. There was a mix-up with the card. Can I just have the card to jot down the... That's a good sign you're being scammed.
Wow. That's definitely scary, and something like that, especially if you're getting it from a hotel, maybe someplace you're not used to normally getting deliveries from, and then just not thinking about it. So watch out for those. That's a really good one. What are some other big things that are happening now?
The one thing I would also always just good travel, whenever you're traveling, have backup copies of your documentation, credit card information along those lines. Heaven forbid you were potentially robbed abroad. You want to have backups of passports, travel itineraries, driver's licenses, and things of that type of information.
So have those with you. I mean, and then I suppose make sure that you have those safely stored as well if you are carrying copies of all that information. But a good thing to...
You want to make sure that they're password protected or not available for anyone to view and access.
Good. Yeah. So have those there and have those available for you to use. What are some other big ones here for this time of year?
I think a lot of people get these invites for free vacations. Come check out my vacation club, 2 or 3 nights on us. And though some of those are legitimate travel offers, a lot of them turn out to be scams where then they're asking for deposits or other information to hold access to that. Again, anytime somebody starts with, here's a free offer, and then it turns into, I need payment information, that's an immediate red flag.
Yeah, and I've certainly seen a lot of those free ones, which can be very tempting. But going back to what you talked about at the beginning, if it seems too good to be true, good chance it may be too good to be true, it seems like.
Yeah. Look, some of the legitimate timeshares do offer these 1-day, 2-day free trials, although let's be honest, they're often just sales efforts to get you to buy into their potential timeshare offerings out there. But in general, again, I would start with, 1 year budget for your travel, 2 reputable travel sites, and then make sure that if you are doing payments, I always recommend for all online shopping, having a separate card, completely separate from debit, other banking cards, where if there's an issue with the travel logistics, etc., protection.
Yeah, have it. And have that. It looks like I may cut out just a little bit, but yeah. So have that tied to one specific card, and that way it's all coming from there. That's a really good idea, and to keep that separated from some of your other expenses or other potential debit cards or credit cards.
Absolutely. And some cards will have better travel liability protection and things of that nature. Maybe even free bags, or if you have a hotel affiliate card, as an example. But it's always best to have one card for online transactions that's completely separate from your traditional checking debit banking information.
All right. Well, Greg, anything else that you think people should just be aware of and just be at least knowledgeable about when it comes to spring break and some of these different travel scams that are out there?
I think just always be vigilant, always be aware. I mean, maybe it's the transplant New Yorker me, so I always feel like I'm being scammed out there. But I would always, again, try and start with known reputable sites, find the bargains. They are out there, but you have to go look for them. They're not just going to show up in your inbox randomly. And if they do, it's likely potentially a risk for your environment.
Yeah, good to think about. Go to the actual sites, go there, find them, and watch out, because as always, there are people out there who really, really want to get your money and take advantage of the situation and do that. And I think my one last question here too, just about all that is just the proliferation of artificial intelligence and AI, is that just making it easier and easier for some of these scammers to take advantage of people?
I mean, it allows people with very little technical and programming savvy to launch these massive campaigns at a much greater velocity, but also now with the targeted nature to do research from Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or other sites like that. A lot of us share too much information online, which the hackers then use this information to customize these emails, these phishing attacks, make it seem like it's coming from a friend about something that you're legitimately interested in. And in this particular case, it's really not true.
Yeah, so all good things to watch out for then, and just try not to fall victim to that. So don't click through those email links, go to the actual site, find the really good deals, but go to the sites where they're actually at. Well, Greg, thank you very much, as always, for joining us. And this is good for everybody out there to just remember and think about it. Even if you think, oh, no, I would never do that, I would never fall victim to that. You can. And it happens all the time. And so, yeah, great information to know. Thanks so much, Greg.
See you as always, Greg. Thank you.
And continuing on here, I just want to say again, back to that. That was my issue there on hitting the wrong button for the Switch new software. But it's just going to keep on happening, isn't it? Because that's what I'm doing here at the end. All right. Greg, thank you very much for joining us. For everybody who is watching us here live now on Fox 12 Now, if you've ever wondered if I'm live, this is proof that I'm live. This is it right here. So I am going to go ahead and sign off for right now. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.